So I'm happy that you have somebody here else, so we can discuss now. You don't have the burden to work with teachers now. You can work with yourselves, okay? Actually, I was having a plan if there's more than one teacher here, but I'm again lucky to have you. The plan is to, like I have the road plan or the map. We're gonna work with it for the 40 minutes coming now. We have first thing, like 1 minute, 2 minutes, you should talk to somebody beside you or find somebody here who doesn't know about you too much, and talk about the countries you went or you wish to go. Okay? نتحدث عن البلاد اللي احنا بنعرف عنها طلاب أو نتمنى أن نتعلم بها أو نعرف فيها المناهج الدراسية. Together. 2 minutes بس. دقيقتان فقط. You can use it for your note. مرحبا. You can use it for your notes. You can use it to write your notes in. Each one of you one, please. Yep, each one of you one if you'd like. Though it's written in Arabic, but okay. It's another one here. Go. Use it for your notes, okay? Good. Okay. So, حابة أتكلم شوي عربي and at the same time I wanted to speak to you in English, so it's from here and there, okay? Globalization with language, okay? كم بلد زرت أو تعرف? How many countries you know or originally you are from? If it's more than one, raise up your hand. If it's more than two. Originally you are from a country and you are living in another country, you know kids. Okay. How many nationalities in your school? If it's more than 5. Which school? So you have 2 nationalities, usually. نعم. نعم. Sorry. So I'm just like have a request. Would you like me to continue either in Arabic or in English? English. Okay, it's okay for me. Okay, it's way better for me. So I'm gonna continue in English for all the sides, though it should be in Arabic as it's written, but it's okay. So now the next thing is gonna happen is like I'm gonna say a question, and each question you're gonna discuss for 5 minutes, then you give us the answer, like a feedback for us, okay? Okay. What is globalization? And when I ask what is globalization here, it means I want you to define it for me by language, like lingually, or socially, or also, let's say, educationally. If I talk about globalization, I want the meaning of globalization, literally, the meaning of globalization socially and educationally. And you can discuss, then we can come with nice results. Like here, I heard very good when she said about glocal. So glocal is something, local, you turn it to globalization, right? Let's go on. Think about it. Would you mind if you share the Mr. there, if you don't mind, share with him? So at least we are twos. Yeah. So, we would like to share with you your ideas, if you don't mind. So we are working through tonight. Okay? Okay, let's start with the first one. Okay, we are lucky also we have different groups here. Like we have a teacher and student, and 2 girls students and student, 2 girls, okay? Now, what is the meaning of globalization? Who can give me a definition of globalization?
Globalization means interacting with other cultured peoples.
Any adding to it? Globalization?
Sharing different aspects and elements of a country with another.
So, we are learning from them more and more aspects. Sorry? You have anything to say? Okay. What about globalization in, yes, sir, and social or whatever?
Globalization means to connect the people of different nationalities for common ideas. Globalization means to connect the people of different nationalities for common ideas or cause.
People in different nationalities, so it's like social globalization. Good. And what about education? And now really, yes, I like to hear from you more, kids. Then we'll go also for the teachers, because we are in the field, but we want to hear from them, so it will benefit us more.
I think globalization educationally is like this concept of kind of coming together and embracing like ethnic and racial diversity, because I feel like especially in international schools and especially in Dubai, we have so many races and so many cultures, and I think it's very important in educationally to give that opportunity and use it effectively, because I feel like we can learn a lot about each other's culture and language, especially language, educationally, and you know, you can integrate that into your curriculum and syllabus and kind of learn how to deal with people from different cultures and from different countries. And I think that would be really effective in creating like a successful learning environment in the future as well. So yeah.
That's really perfect. Like, we are originally in Dubai, an international global city or country that we have to deal with. You said 2 others have, like my previous school, have 70 nationality. As she said, yes, you have a different mentality. And I'm talking about globalization in education is a very, very important thing for kids themselves, for the learners themselves, for the teachers who's coming from a different time to a time we are preparing them for the next time or generation. And as Dr. Karam said, don't think of the box, but meanwhile we should, as teachers, the one who making the box, to change our mind about globalization and teaching. That's why we are happy that we're hearing from them. And at the same time, we want this connection to be between us and them so we can be in the same land. Okay, thank you. Now, this one is in English, so it's easy for you to know what it's meant. Implication of global information society and the education system. So to continue the life learning, as it's not, as they said today, it's not the content. It's not this content that you have to learn and forget after the assessment. It's the skills and lifelong learning. How to deal with people, how to accept others, how to accept their opinions, how to be thinking like them when you are in their position, like put yourself in their shoes and these things. Creation of a new educational network organization. So yes, should be a network organization between you, because you are the future later on. Coming from different countries, it means that you can make, right, a new educational association, okay? Okay, more flexible and general skills. That's what we call, it's not the content. Okay, let's see the effect of globalization in both sides. The effect, if it's positive effects or negative effects on the education and learning. Can you discuss together and try to find us? For teachers, what was the effect of globalization? Because what you see, they don't see, and what they see, we cannot see, right? For teachers, we have curriculum and things to do, and we have to follow up, and we have the moral that we have to raise them up as we should as we learned, as we grow up. And at the same time, this morals is not in their time life, and they have to teach us that, yes, we are with you, but at the same time, in not this way. So it's a very good chance to find a way to connect together. So would you please think for like 2 minutes, not more, about the effect of globalization in education, okay? If we open globalization, what's that affect you in a good way and a bad way, okay? I think talking about that will take ages and ages, right? Like if you're really gonna talk about it, it will take you a long time because, yes, there's things we have to broker between the two generations, right? Okay, so I prefer to hear from each one of your side something, okay? Can we start? Because we are running out of time. So teachers here, what do you think about the effect of globalization, either wise and a good in education?
Globalization has positive effect on education, because with it we can learn about other cultures. It's good to learn. What if any other culture child comes in our school, so it's easy to understand them. So it's good we get to know about other cultures. We should think out of the box.
So you think globalization is good for education?
Yes.
So teachers here think and believe totally that globalization is very affecting in a good way on teaching or education, though it was heartbroken when the last question was for you in the plenary. It's about do you think future of globalization, and nobody was believing that thing is gonna be different later, so it's really broken heart. Okay, just to see the girls here, what do you think?
We think if it is implemented, it wouldn't be the simplest thing to adjust to. However, it would have really good benefits for the students because it allows them to have a wider perspective of exactly what world they live in instead of just locally, what kind of culture they have. It's better to have a more diverse mindset. So of course it would be a very beneficial thing to students, and personally we would benefit from it, and we do every day being a student in Dubai. However, in other countries, they may not be as welcoming to it, which I think the perspective needs to change.
I'll say, I think it's good when there's globalization and education together, because like suppose in a school, if there's only Indians, then I guess that there'll only be an Indian culture in the school. But then when people around the world come and meet in one place, then we can learn more about other people and about their place, and that's really good. So I agree to, yeah, it's good.
Education can play a very important impact on people of different countries. Teachers can give message of tolerance and patience to the students of all countries and learners of common cause, so they must behave good with each other.
Good. Thank you. Can I pass it for the last group then? Then we're gonna say something about it.
I think one of the main benefits of globalization would be more tolerance between cultures. So basically that's working towards the goal of world peace. So a lofty goal, I know, but globalization, I feel, is the first step towards that goal, since a lot of wars are waged between different cultures.
Just adding on to that, I think globalization allows this interface or forum where different influential figures from different nationalities and different cultures can kind of sit down and understand each other's culture and understand each other's perspective as per like issues such as inequality, women empowerment, and whatnot. And there are so many raging issues at this day, as well as like world peace and war and things like that. So it's just kind of, I think globalization again is like the first step to kind of sitting down and integrating perspective and kind of looking at a compromise between a lot of different nationalities, because we've been separated by borders and cultures for so long that it's going to take us time to integrate back, if we were to.
Perfect. And actually, thank you very much. Really give a lot of good ideas about and positivity about globalization, which is really good and benefit. But we have not to deny that there is some bad effects of globalization. We're going to talk about it later, especially for you students who are going to study abroad or something. Okay, let's see now. So the fall into globalization, internalization, and of education. So we have two associations. Sorry, they are really, if you don't know, economically affecting the globalization in your life. Okay, so it's not only affecting education as education, because life is also economic. Okay. Okay, how to just face some of these effects? Like, if we say there is some, if you go into more globalization, like what I'm doing now is thinking, my head is with the word of Arabic thing, right? I'm wearing in between German, American, and Chinese. So I'm like a mix of traditional culture things, right? So do you think there's any, let's say, effects, like bad effects of globalization and how to face it? Let's think now purely about the other side of globalization, okay, and how to face it. They asked a question in the plenary. They said, what about the traditional itself, the tradition of each country should be affected or if not affected by globalization? So let's see that. You can tell me. Just think. If you want to have anything, just think. Okay, 2 minutes to think, and just give me, please, something you feel that it's really affecting. Okay, I think there's somebody has an idea here. I know that she didn't finish it yet, but let's see, not to copy, not to double the thoughts, okay?
What I was saying was, basically, it's just, even though globalization provides a forum where cultures can kind of look at each other's perspectives, it also creates this rift, because in the world that we live in today, some countries have already established their dominance over in some industries. Let's say in the political industry, we have USA headlining very, very frequently, and then in terms of peace and looking for peace and kind of advocating peace in Africa and combating terrorism, you have China making revolutionary changes. And it's just sometimes these things clash, and globalization does not necessarily provide an equal chance for every country to voice out their thoughts and opinions. So that might create a large rift in how we solve the problems of tomorrow, basically.
That's perfectly good. What do you think about what she said? I agree with her. You are saying, okay. So let me just go through these quickly. There is a very, very quick change into the content and the curriculum of learning. Like for teachers, the content or the curriculum is changing quickly because of trying to follow up the globalization quickly. So rather than teaching them the traditional way of repeating, you have to use the IT thing, other ways of thinking, like the 6 hats of thinking, and a lot of methods and techniques, which might suit them. But we should do something more than this to let them decide the methods also, they would like to learn, not only just to stick to a traditional methods, okay? So the wrap up, the speed up of changing the curriculum is one of the affecting of the globalization. Like what you learn today, tomorrow is nothing. Like in our ages, there was nothing called mental math. It was normal math. Now there is something mental math. You cannot go with your kids to go through it. Even if you are teaching your kids at home, you cannot teach them because totally different than what we learned, okay? So, and very, very important thing that the jobs, the professional jobs in the future is totally different than nowadays. And some of these jobs gonna be disappearing nearly, which is like accountant, because the IT will do the calculation and then it goes less down. So the IT is more than. So there is a very affecting also on the jobs. What do you think in the future, if you want to think about globalization, kids, and the jobs you might work? What kind of jobs you might work later on? Like this, Mr. Karam said, that he said, I want to be heavy and you don't understand life. Now, we want to understand from your side. Yes.
I would work as a chartered accountant. Chartered accountant. What is the job description? Like, I can help people by auditing, like helping them pay their taxes to the government. If I work in India, and if I work around the world, other than India, I can do many other things like helping the company with their financial things. I can be the head, like that. Yeah, guiding people.
Well, for me personally, I want to be a humanitarian journalist. So that would involve me traveling around to different cultures and understanding, you know, how the contrast between cultures and, you know, the reason for things in cultures. So what I want to do is create awareness to the world about these cultures and about things that people wouldn't normally see on their basic, you know, media, like on news, because it's not something that is often publicized to that extent.
Can I say something about that? Is IT and the new technology might help you in that more? Like to be a normal journalist is something normal, but the IT, the globalization, one of the points here we're talking about the IT and technology, that might help you a lot, right? Might facilitate a lot. So you might not be really in need to travel other than just use the IT, right? Or sometimes traveling to see it on...
Yeah, I think that's a more personal experience.
Yes, a personal experience. Any more jobs? Yes.
I want to become a pediatric oncologist. Basically, what that means is I want to I want to treat cancer for kids. So I'd be an oncologist surgeon. So basically, what that means is I'd be a qualified surgeon, kind of treating tumors and kind of talking to kids mainly. That's the specialty. And I think it's a benefit to society because not a lot of people take up a challenge to kind of be that emotionally stable to kind of treat these children who are suffering this unstoppable disease. And I think that, you know, it would make a real change if people took on that challenge and kind of aspired to be whoever they wanted to be. And that's basically what I want to contribute into society. So I think that would be pretty cool.
Okay, thank you. There's some jobs you want to say about thing? Okay.
One that I've been thinking about would be a director in either movies, commercials, or TV, and I think that would create a great platform in putting out ideas and new forms of expression from many different societies and many different aspects, and also like it would portray my or my team's or anyone's ideas clearly and maybe implicitly so that it can stay in other people's minds, and you can use media for that. So because media is so widely known and so widely watched that almost everyone would get the idea and would like benefit from watching it.
So we have two ladies here who's gonna work in media, either a journalist or media editor, and somebody who's vegetarian or cancer thing. and we have somebody with the finance, and perfect. So thinking in the future, and think about the future of the future later. So one of the things that might be affected by globalization is learning or studying abroad. Like when you are in a village or a place where you don't have the college, you have to travel abroad to another city or maybe another country, right? So if you don't know about globalization and you're not coping with it, it's going to be so hard and difficult, especially for you. I mean, for the one who don't actually interact with other countries, right? So it's going to be more difficult for you. It's going to be kind of challenge, actually, okay? Okay. Now, this is a question for the kids and for the teachers. How to make it a little bit emphasize with more than 5 minutes. We need the goals 5 minutes. Okay, you can go. No worries. You're welcome. You'll come. It was really happy for me. Thank you. It was my pleasure. Welcome. Okay, so let's talk here with the teachers a little bit about how can we emphasize more good sides of globalization. Through the curriculum, how you can do that? Like you are teaching Arabic, right? You're teaching? Okay, good, perfect. And you, sir? So we have an answer here, and think about it.
Sometimes when we go in other countries for studies, sometimes when we go in other countries for studies, we observe entirely different cultures. We can face racialism and prejudice regarding social norms and religion. Every person must welcome the persons of different nationalities with big hearts. In this way, this problem can be overcome.
Very good. What about you, teachers? How you think you can emphasize that more? The good sides.
Good sides. We should include globalization because in curriculum we should include, like in curriculum we should include something that will allow the students to learn more about globalizations. We should include other subjects also, that they can learn the languages. Like Arabic, we should include Arabic in our this education in school. Arabic or English. English is mostly, and Arabic also. As we stay here, if we don't learn about this culture, so it's difficult to interact in UAE. So it's better if Arabic should be included. If they learn, it's easy to interact if they are alone and outside, and there's some people like local, if they don't know any English, so how we can communicate with them? Some basic languages we should learn.
Good. So you emphasize more into languages also. Do you have anything to say? Okay. 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 We were thinking about now from your own curriculum, the subject you are teaching. Can you give us any creative idea? Any creative idea you think you have to teach it to the kids or to help kids with, so they can emphasize the globalization through education? Like from my side, if I'm an Arabic teacher for non-Arabs, okay, what I will do all the time is like give them critical thinking or creative thinking about something, but in Arabic. Like give them an example for the Palm Island in Jumeirah Island, how we just built up an island with a palm, which is related to our culture as an Arab. And now all over the world, now we are globalized, in Dubai known, with the Nakhla thing, Dubai is more globalized, right? So let's talk about the culture more from your side of subjects, how you can emphasize that more. Like you said, you teach science. So let's do science with the traditional, let's link localization with science and make it global thing. And you, sir, you teach? Good. So how we can make it English, use English, and to like more promote our culture. Okay? Can you give us any idea about it? Think about it. Yep. She might give you an English idea. Go ahead.
Yeah. For example, like every day we will tell them that what is the meaning of this word in Arabic, what is the meaning of it in English, and whenever we enter in the class, like we always say like greeting. First of all, we do greeting. So first of all, we tell them how you greet. So most children will say good morning and good morning. Yes. So we will tell them that in Arabic we usually say Assalamu alaikum. Yes. So always practicing them in the class, or like whenever we come inside the class, you will tell them it's your Arabic period. So it's better if you communicate with me in Arabic. I will communicate with you in Arabic. So whatever they have learned on the first day, second day, you can do the practice of the same thing. Like this, the language they can learn fast.
Do you have an idea? Yes, let's see an idea here. Thank you.
So far as English learning is concerned, I want to proceed the idea which is given by her, that we must practice the things again and again. In this way, the students will be able to learn the things.
So you think more practically than just, again, they emphasized in the plenary talking about not the content, it's lifelong learning and the skills, and have to be open to the other cultures, right? Well, I don't have much enough for you today, actually, because we are less number. We were thinking that to have more people who can discuss that more into linguistic and talk about globalization with the languages more. But thank you really for coming, and I consider myself lucky to have you and have the boys and girls here. So I hope that you enjoyed a little bit of like resting. It's not that hard workshop. Thank you.